one thing I just wanted to talk about is the power of outsourcing. And, we were discussing onlinejobs.ph. Now, it is the best way to get a VA or someone to help your business, and it's very cost effective. Okay. Now, we discussed it in previous workshops. Even Lincoln was mentioning that he's got a bunch of VAs for different tasks in his business. And for many of you, you have to realize that this is an investment and not a cost. You can literally hire someone as low as $1, $2 US an hour to save you 10, 20 hours a week. Okay. So I recently had to put a job posting for a cold caller. Okay. So I'm going to just give you a quick 5-minute version of finding your ideal clientele. Okay. So first and foremost, when you go to onlinejobs.ph, you have to go to pricing. Okay. So they give you a free trial, which is pretty much useless, but they have a pro package and a premium package. Okay. Why free sucks is basically it takes 2 days for the job to get approved. And then unfortunately, you can't really even communicate with the workers. So it's kind of like a waste of time. You could post a job posting just to see how effective it is, but it's nonsense. The best thing to do is get a pro package, which I do. You pay $69 for the month, and then you can cancel it within the 30-day period, because within 30 days, you'll find the talent that you need. Okay. So you get a pro package, you get instant job approval, and you get to communicate with the workers. Okay. You get 3 job posts. So I'll just give you an example of the job that I recently posted. It's for a real estate cold caller. Okay. So what I do and what I told Lincoln is like, basically you go on Google and you look for the job that you want to post. Let's say, for example, you get inundated with DMing people. That's a pain in the ass. So you basically go on social media marketing, social media direct messaging. You'll find a bunch of job postings. And then when you go to that post, you basically model it for your own, and then you post it here. Okay. So let me just go see my job post. So I found a really great cold calling post on Google, and I just set it up to where it's for my company. Okay. So type of work full time. What I like to do is give them a 2-week trial period where I really test them out. And then from there, give them a salary. Okay. 25,000 PHP, that's Filipino pesos, is only $500 US. Okay. So you work for me for 2 weeks, you bust your ass, prove to me that you're a good fit, and then I'll pay you $500 a month. Okay. So from there, you do a job overview. Again, just go on Google, you'll find a ton of templates for the requirements. You set up the compensation, the shifts, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. And most importantly, you got to let them know that they're going to be working on your schedule, wherever your time zone is. So I did this literally in 24 hours. I got 15 people, and I'll just show you the trick, because obviously you're going to get a bunch of people. Maybe they're qualified, maybe they're not qualified. So for every single person, I had a simple rebuttal. Okay. So I don't think they replied back yet. Maybe this person did. But, okay.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
Are those people getting paid enough that they can live like?
Yes. 25,000 Filipino pesos is like as close to like $20,000 US a month, give or take. I mean, it's a big chunk of money,
Okay.
$400 US is a very good salary for a person in the Philippines.
Okay.
It's amazing how much money goes there, but they have a ton of people that are looking for work, highly qualified people. So here's a ninja hack that I wanted to share, because I got all of these applications and I don't have the time to look through all the resumes, So basically I just send this simple template, and I'll share with you guys if you ever want to hire anyone. Okay. Let me see the message I sent.
This is great, by the way.
Yes.
Thank
you. It's super simple. Okay. Charlene, she applied. Didn't even look at her resume. Didn't even look at if she's qualified. I could do this in a simple video. Charlene, thanks for applying for this position. We have a lot of applications. So if you follow these 4 directions and reply back as soon as you can, we can take the next step. Number one, record a video on your phone, selfie style of your face, and upload it on youtube.com unlisted. Title, your full name. Once you record it, post it in this message. Number two, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you'd be a good fit for our cold caller position. Three, tell us your passions and hobbies and your experience doing cold calling. And number four, read this script. So this is a script that they're going to be using for the cold calling. This way I could tell their energy, their accent, because I need them to have no accent because they're calling numbers here in the United States, and just to see how quickly they do this. Now, of course, out of, let's say, the 20 people that applied, maybe 5 people are actually going to do a YouTube video, post it, read the script, and send it back to us. So I already deleted a lot of the duds, because if you can't do a simple YouTube selfie video and post it here unlisted, then it's not going to work out. So the top 5, I'm going to watch their videos, and maybe I'll have the top 2 that I want to choose. And then I'll just do a quick Zoom interview with them, maybe 10, 15 minutes. So tell me about your experience on the video. You said you do this, you do that. And then by Monday, they're hired. So to give you an example, I did this all in 24 hours, okay? I posted it, went to sleep. I got all of these listings as soon as I got all the applications. And as they're coming in, create the YouTube video. They do the video. I select the top 3. I interview them. And by Monday, I have a new VA that I'm paying $500 a month. And of course, I don't pay them that much. They're going to do a trial period, okay? So the trial period, you essentially work on how many hours you want them to do. Let's say, for example, for training purposes, you want to pay them $2 an hour. So you say, I need you to work 20 hours for this specific training. So that's $80 that you're paying them, US dollars. You work with them directly, send money on PayPal, however way you want to pay them. And then you just give them 100 hours worth of work. So can you do 100 hours worth of work in 20 hours? In 80 hours. And obviously they're hungry, they want to work, but you create a new standard of what you want them to do. And then from there, you just say, okay, great. I'm really impressed with your work ethic and how much action you're taking and how you take initiative. Let's work full time. So what I'm going to do is basically manage you. I literally just manage them on email. You know, I don't use any complicated stuff. I use Basecamp, I use Slack, I use all these different tools, but I just found email is easiest for me. And then they just check in what they did that day at the end of the shift, what they did. And then that's that. So I always say when it comes to outsourcing stuff in your business, what are the things that annoy you the most? What are the things that make you the most tired? You know? So the greatest mistake that I made was waiting too long to outsource. I started outsourcing in 2012. So it's now been 8 years. So 8 years I've been using VAs. And in all my years, this is my simple strategy. So you may not like to DM people, okay? So you could hire someone 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, where every time you post a video, every time you do a story, whoever watches the story or watches the video or likes the video, they just DM them. And another thing they do is going on Facebook and Instagram and adding your ideal client. Maybe it's a mom. So it's pretty easy to find moms looking for certain hashtags or going inside groups with moms. Entrepreneurs, great. Go to all these entrepreneur groups on Facebook, add as much entrepreneurs as you can, start conversations with them. Like literally the person that is DMing and doing outreach and adding all these people, there's no doubt in my mind that within a month, they'll get you at least one client. What is one client worth for you, right? Even if that client is paying $1,000, that $1,000 is paying for that VA over 3-4 months. So it is all an investment, okay? There are VAs in here that have insane levels of skills, cold calling, DMing people, basically customer service. They build out websites, they build out ClickFunnels, you know? So I always recommend if there's a one-time task, use Fiverr, fiverr.com for $5 to $20. You do a one-time task. But if you're finding yourself wanting to hire someone long-term, then go to onlinejobs.ph, get a 1-month trial, post 3 job postings, think about the top 3 people you need to hire, work on the trial period, and then thinking about growing and investing, because the greatest thing I've learned is I cannot do this alone. So you have one superpower, you have one skill. Even when I wasn't making a lot of money, I hired a VA and I started making a lot of money because I saw that this was an investment. And it's a mindset shift of having one person who does your customer service, who does outreach. You can even find someone who has multiple skill sets. Maybe you're saying, oh, well, I need someone to help me manage my Gmail, help me just do mundane stuff, order plane tickets, order groceries online. My VAs have access to my credit cards. SJ, I say, hey, I want to go to Austin, Texas next month for 1 week. Please find me the cheapest flight possible, leaving on Monday, coming back on Wednesday. I want to leave in the afternoon. I just give her that information. I go to sleep. The next morning, she finds me the cheapest flight. Now, that could take me 3 to 4 hours to do all that stuff, search and figure out stuff. I don't want to use that brain power. I'll pay her a small hourly fee to get that done, and it's finished. But I'm just saying, like, there's so many things that you could do. And my question is, how do you discover what needs to get done? Well, on a Monday, you wake up and you just start to write down everything you do hour by hour. So let's say when you start your business, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., what are you doing from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.? Every hour, what are you spending your time on? And then from there, very simply, you want to figure out what things you want to outsource in those hourly tasks, and then create a simple job posting and then have someone take them over, and the training, again, you just train it one time, you set it and forget it. I use Zoom a lot of times. I use this other thing called Loom. It's a free screen recording software, LOOM. And I say, here's what I do that I do this, do that. I just literally do it one time for them. Let's say something as simple as how to DM someone. You send them a script and then you give them, screenshots of successful DM conversations, and then you just let them go. And on that trial period, you set a simple expectation for them. Okay. I want you to add 500 new people on my Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And out of those 500 people, if you could get 10 phone calls, 10 sales calls out of this, I'll be extremely happy. You got 2 weeks to do this. Great. You give them that work over 2 weeks. They tell you, oh, I got 500 people. I've set up 10 phone calls. Great. You did what I asked you to. Let's work full time. So the whole point I'm saying is, like, sometimes you got to think out the box and think about, like, maybe there's something you're not doing you need to do. There's things that are just like on your to-do list every single week and they're not getting done. How can you pay someone even for a short amount of time? You hire them for a month, right? These people are hungry. They're hard workers. They're honest. You want to get a lot of stuff done in 1 month? Video editing. Okay, you'll find a video editor. Edit these 20 videos for me. So it's just amazing. But this is, again, a super simple way of setting up an ad. I'll give you the template on how to have them interview once they interview back, and how to hire. And then as simple as that. So.
Awesome, man. It's great. I've been working with VAs for quite a bit of time, just paying a little more money in the Philippines, $5 to $6 to $7 an hour. And realizing that I'm kind of putting all my eggs in one basket with what the one VA I work with. He's great. And, but he's not always available. Like, for example, the next 4 days, internet's out in his territory. He sent me messages so it kind of sucks. I'll be investing 8 hours into my business this weekend versus family time because he's not available as far as the pairing goes, success circles go. So if I had a backup in another part of the Philippines, that would be managed, so stuff like that. So I'm seeing the importance of having a team, having more people, and even the DMing too. The one thing I don't enjoy doing is the constant DMing or follow up that way. So all good stuff. I'm totally gonna do. And like I said, I've been doing VAs for quite a bit of time, just not being as smart as I can be with it, I'd say.
Yes. No, definitely. No, yeah, like you said, this is all like a learning curve. And, I think we both could say that one of the mistakes we made was trying to do everything ourselves for so long. Of course, in the beginning, you want to do a lot of work on your business. You want to put a lot of time in learning the basic fundamental things. But then once you start generating some profits, then you want to reinvest it back into the business. And I find one of the best investments is hiring help.
Yeah. I think a way I'd frame this, I'm doing a lot of this recently, is what's causing friction in my life.
Yes.
So where are all the friction points? And we had a task rapper come in this past Tuesday, clean up our home. It was great. We have a nanny upstairs watching our kids. Like where is there friction currently? So that's why I see everything now. Whether it be finances. I've got a bookkeeper in the Philippines. She's great, but she's not as effective. She shows up 1 month a year. Who can I bring on forward as a CIO or a CFO, basically, on a weekly basis, who I can meet with? Because that is a friction point for me, just handling things the last minute before tax season goes with the one VA I have, and all of it. So yeah, I'm just being present to that. And I do trust, like everyone VA I've trusted them with my accounts. No one's no one's ever done anything over the course of the past decade plus to hurt me whatsoever. So
I agree with you. I'm grateful for that as well. And I'm the same way. They have access to my bank accounts and credit cards and social security numbers. I mean, you name it, even my merchant accounts, to know how to shift around money or how much money I'm making. And thankfully, like you said, I never had a serious issue with any kind of scamming.
Yep. Yeah, the Philippines are very very good values, strong values as a community, as a culture. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. And you're helping so much people, because it's amazing. A lot of the VAs that I've had, like, they're the only person working for their family, and the money that you're sending them, they're providing for so many people. And it's a beautiful thing, because obviously they're very hardworking people, but at the same time, you're helping contribute to someone else's family. And again, this is like something where you have to see over time where you're creating the most friction, like Joseph's saying, and then seeing like, okay, this is about the bottleneck of my business. Let's say, for example, sales calls, cold calls, or you hate making calls. You just hate getting people on the phone. Well, cool. You could hire someone to do those calls for you, and basically they're going to be calling people and you just focus on creating content. And that's the beautiful thing about it, and you'll be so surprised with how many salespeople are on a site like this. If you literally just say, coaching sales or sales, there's people that have much better sales experience than me. Maybe they've been doing it for 20 years, 10 hours a day, selling. So, wow, this person is better than me, and I'm not into those sales calls. So it's like the beauty of having someone, and that's all they do. So you don't have to wear so many hats in your business.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Another thing I'm working on is I'd like to work on more is like PR, I guess, like
Okay.
help a reporter, those sites, and like finding opportunities and following up on those opportunities for me, like being a thought leader in this area. And it takes a while to screen through opportunities, right? And so it's one thing I want to work on. So that's one of the friction points. It's a good point. I'm going to do a mind map in this, like go deeper into this and see what else causes me a little stress, what else causes friction.
Yeah, no, that's good. Like, I know PR is a big part of any business, and I do realize like the big power players, they're spending a lot in PR, and in terms of PR, do you mean like getting into like magazines and publications? And
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. They're great credibility boosters. And I think like getting into the right magazine like Forbes or Entrepreneur and getting in front of your ideal clientele and being the expert is huge, because recently I started the process of getting verified. You know, you get verified on Facebook and Instagram, and it's a really huge credibility boost. But one of the big benefits of being verified is the fact that you always show up at the top of the comments. So let's say, for example, you comment on an Instagram page that has thousands of your ideal clients. Now you could have 300,000 comments on the one post. When you're verified, you show up at the top. And then for some odd reason, when you have that blue check, you have so many more followers that add you back. So to make a long story short, I've been working with a PR firm for the verification process. And one of the qualifications are having articles in different magazines and whatnot, you know? So I've been working on getting those articles and then submitting for verification. Now, if you go on Instagram on your profile, there is a slot that says verification. Now, some people get lucky where they just submit and then you add your license and they have some basic information. And in 30 days, they magically get verified. And that's what I tried to do initially without paying for a company. And I suggest you guys do that as well. Sometimes I'll ask you the reason why. And you say, hey, there's a lot of fake accounts being made of me. And that's one of the reasons why some people get automatically verified, because they have a lot of fake accounts of them. But the point I'm saying is it doesn't hurt to submit with what you already have, because you might get it. And that blue check goes a very long way for your credibility and for other reasons that I can't even share. But you just go on your Instagram, you go into the account settings, submit for verification. In 30 days, it's a yes or a no, but it's a free submission. And if you want to take the other steps, again, you can literally just go on YouTube and look at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever thing you want to be verified on. They have like a step-by-step process for it.
Awesome, man. I'll check that. So there's a separate one for Facebook as well, also.
Yes.
Like a badge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. Somewhere in the account settings, you just submit it. And there's other people that have connections in the Facebook headquarters where someone on the inside, you pay them like $1,000 and they verify you. But because it's sneaky, this game of PR and what people are doing. But at the end of the day, it's a way of building credibility for your business. And that's why even the people that I know that spend so much money on PR, just getting into all these different publications, because from a search engine point of view, or someone Googles you and they see you're at all these different places, that boosts your credibility.
Awesome, man. Fun stuff.
Anything else you're working on, Joseph?
Not much. Just I was in a podcast a few days ago. Just it's been a busy week with my kids. My daughter in school, so it's been like a full week. She's about to go to a class in about 6 minutes. I have to head upstairs shortly. There's a lot of running around with regard to that. But otherwise, good. I've got another had a podcast yesterday, one more tomorrow. We have a power team meeting next Tuesday. Just keeping the momentum going with what we're doing. So it's good.
That's awesome. That's good. That's good. Yes. And that's a key thing. And something I was talking to Shelby about earlier. It's all about consistency. And the great thing about consistency, and especially batch filming or batch creating content, is like you have so much stuff to go off of, and when I'm feeling like out of it mentally, or I'm burnt out, or I'm just not in a position to create, I then go to my old stuff, or I decrease my frequency. I post every other day, but I'm making sure that I'm always showing up, always posting videos, always a short text post, sharing something, because time and time again, I've seen a lot of people, especially during this quarantine, a lot of people kind of just fell off the grid for whatever reason. They just stopped posting, stopped showing up, took 2-3 months off. And every single one of them will tell you, one, they lose all their credibility. And number two, they have a massive lack of engagement, because for some reason, the Facebook algorithm or Instagram algorithm, like the less frequently you post, obviously the less people see your stuff, but then it really affects your edge rank. And obviously always showing up, even when you don't feel like it, that's the name of the game, consistency. There are many days where I don't feel like doing anything, and I would love to just lay in bed or sleep on the couch. But I know that people need me to show up. Maybe I'm not going to do a video. Maybe I'm not going to do a live, but I'm posting something, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously the more you post, the more of a database you have. That's the key thing.
Right. The more automatic you can make it, whether with your team to do it, the less stress it is too. And I don't mean using Hootsuite and Buffer, but I mean like having SJ and Post for You and what you're doing well as well. So it's great, right?
Yes.
It's awesome. One of my mentors, Dave Kirpin, he's got like the #1 followers on LinkedIn. One thing he shared years ago is every day is an opportunity to share a story. And some days a story might fail, you might screw up, but you know what? Tomorrow is a whole new story you can share. So I've got to be present to that versus like the worrying too much what people will think about me. So this is something that I'm working on doing more often.
Yes. No, it's true. It's true. I agree with that. It's sharing something. Even like the greatest shares that I've ever had that kind of blew my mind, it was very counterintuitive, was when I was feeling down and out or exhausted or just depressed. And I'm like, all right, keeping it real. I'm depressed. I don't feel like doing anything. It's one of those days where, you know, I don't feel like showing up, but I know this too shall pass. Tomorrow's a better day and everything's going to be okay.
No doubt, man.
Something
Awesome.
that's simple of sharing in the moment, that is the most engaged post. Why? Because I'm just being real, you know?
I'm going to take her my daughter, put her in her class now, her after school class. Thanks so much. Bye, Shelby. Good seeing you again.
Yes.
Enjoy. Thanks, brother.
See you, JV.
Let me ask one quick question before
Of course.
go. Do you prefer Buffer or Hootsuite for your social media?
None of those, to be quite honest.
You just have someone do it?
The only thing is inside the profiles on Facebook and Instagram, unfortunately, any third-party app dramatically decreases the engagement, you know?
Really?
Yes. And I've tested it, and many people will attest to this.
Interesting.
Inside of a group, it's fine because you have the people inside the group that see it. But if you are going to use one of those, use it only inside of a closed Facebook group. But on your page, it's all about beating the algorithm because less than 10% of your followers see your content, you know?
Interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Yes. But even in the groups, you could schedule a post. So you don't really need to have one of those, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yes. But again, you just have to put it on your alarm clock or whatever the case is, because it is annoying. I wish the Facebook and Instagram had some type of like pre-planning scheduling system, because it'd be great for a week to pre-plan it. But
I thought they did have that for like up to 90 days or something. I don't know if that's for a business page or not, though.
yes, I think for a while they were testing it on certain profiles, because one thing they do is they test it with a bunch of people, and then a bunch of people are saying, wow, I could actually schedule stuff on my profile, but then they took it away for whatever reason.
Oh, ew. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But like I was saying, in the beginning, you got to do a lot of stuff because obviously you're posting a lot, you're understanding what works, what doesn't work, but at the same time, you're learning the technology and the systems and how to put all this stuff together. So it's a lot of effort, but then over time, all those things you set up kind of start falling into place.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think I have ideas with how I want to do it and everything, and like how I want to target things. Like I thought of a stupid video idea while you guys were talking, so
Awesome.
I want to try to implement it.
Yes. Have fun with it, implement it, and just, again, let go of expectation. You know, just do your best and forget the rest.
All right, we'll do.
Awesome.
Thanks, AJ.
You're welcome, Shelby. Good seeing you.
Have a good one.
Yes. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.